little bit to then not come down without coming down abruptly and like going like this. You want to make sure you float down, point, close. Very seamless. So those are a few tips to remember when you're doing your forward march. Rolling through the tube of toothpaste. Also, another very important thing that just came to mind about forward march is make sure that you are not back. Marching, like you see how my back is arched a little bit, you want to be you want to be on top of yourself, stacked. Another analogy Dr. Bell uses is being stacked on top of yourself. You don't want to be leaning back, you want to be upright and even leaning forward a little bit because you're going forward. If you were this is gonna make the balance pull you in different directions. You're going forward, you want to be upright, going forward. Your momentum's going forward, so your chest needs to be lifted and going forward. For the backwards march, it's different because you're not rolling through your feet, you're up on your platforms, and this could also be referred to as releve. So you're up a little bit, you're not all the way up trying to get on your toes, you're just raised a little bit where you can bounce on the balls of your feet. So you're here, and what I like to do is I just test my balance a little bit before I go. So you can go up, bounce a little bit, come down. Right when you step out, up. It's very sharp. You want to go up. When you go back, this is another thing. I know I said you still don't want to be leaning back because that's going to make it very hard for you. You still want to be stacked on top of yourself when you're going back. And if you can see, my legs are also staying completely straight. You do not want to start a habit of going like this. It's called bicycling, and you don't want to do that. An exercise that you can do to help you with this is just up on your platform, swinging your leg back and forth. My knee does not bend, and that's exactly what should happen when you're marching backwards. No bending. That is one of the biggest things. You really want to make sure that you are not bending or lifting that leg up. It should come from your hip swinging. You don't need to bend at all. And same thing when you're halting. You go point, your foot's at an angle so it can go back into your first position. So the two things that you need to remember when you're halting is that you're not going to continue to go straight back. You're not going to halt back like this because we're not landing with our feet like this. We want our heels touching. So you're going to halt, point, place, down. It's really important to keep lifted here when you halt because that's going to also help with your landing and not to come down, all your weight crashing down at one time. You also, when you're marching backwards, do not want a tightrope. You don't want to go one foot behind the other. Better view of this is here. See how I'm going around myself to get behind? That's not what we want to do. We want to have our own separate tracks for each foot. My left has its own track and my right. So when I go up to go backward march, they stay on their own tracks. Point, close. These are the tricks that you need to learn.